Hi, it's Marty Millner with Coldwell Banker Hearthside in beautiful Newtown, Pennsylvania, here in Bucks County. Thanks for watching another edition of my video blog. Today, I wanted to talk to you about elements in the contract that protect buyers called contingencies. The Pennsylvania Agreement of Sale is about a 13-page document that's very specific and detailed and offers certain protections to buyers that ensure that buyers can make an informed decision, and the contingencies that are in the contract are elements that must be met to the buyer's satisfaction, or they have the right not to buy the house. And those contingencies have to be specified in the agreement. There are time frames with which they have to occur by, so it's very important that that we stay on track from a time perspective, or you can lose the right to be protected by certain contingencies if you fail to meet those required time frames. So what are four important contingencies in the agreement? And this is not at all totally inclusive. There are others, but the first and I think most common contingency is a mortgage contingency, and that includes sort of a subset, I guess I would call it, and that's an appraisal, which the bank will order and schedule. Again, in general, the mortgage contingency in the contract says that you have to be able to obtain a mortgage based on the terms that we establish in the agreement. If the house doesn't appraise, again, as long as that's included in terms of either the loan to value or a separate appraisal contingency, the buyer is protected. And again, there are time frames that require that you file an application in a certain time frame after the contract's executed. The second, and this is a very sort of inclusive, I'm going to just call it home inspection. That includes things other than the general inspection of the property, and they are separate actually. Radon, wood boring insect. If there's a swimming pool, you have the right to inspect the swimming pool and its components. Home inspection process works as the following, where the buyer does the inspection. They have the right to, after the inspection is completed, to either accept the house as is. They also have the right to reject it, just say I've done my inspection, I'm not buying the house, or the opportunity exists to negotiate something with the seller. And again, as long as it's done within the time frame of the contract, the buyer has to be satisfied, or they have the right not to buy the house. Another contingency, which people don't sometimes forget, is you have the right to make sure that the house can be insured at usual and customary rates. I actually had this happen once before, where a seller on a house that a buyer that I was working with was purchasing had filed so many insurance claims that it was very difficult, if not impossible, to obtain insurance. And there is a contingency that gives the buyer some protection that if they can't get insurance at reasonable normal rates, they have the right not to buy the house. And the last one that I want to mention, it's the seller's obligation to obtain the rules and regulations for the community. Once those rules are delivered to the buyer has 5 days to decide that if they're not happy with something in the rules, they actually have the right to cancel the agreement based on the rules and regulations of a planned community. So, as I said before, there are other contingencies, so this isn't meant to be totally inclusive, just to give you an idea of what more common contingencies are that, again, are elements in the contract that protect the buyer. So if you are curious about other issues in the contract, I can actually send you a consumer's guide to the agreement of sale, which goes through paragraph by paragraph, line by line, all elements in the agreement. You're certainly welcome to ask me any questions. I can be reached at 215-519-1399. Shoot me a text or an email. Would love to speak with you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.